Hi, everybody. Welcome to English Digest. I'm Tom.
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
It is time for a festival.
Yay!
We're going to celebrate, and we're going to India. We're going to South Asia now.
Cool.
And they are celebrating something called Diwali, Dazzling Diwali, India's Festival of Lights. Okay, so we're talking about this particular festival. I'm not really sure if it's going on right now, but it will go on someday for sure. India is a huge country with lots of people. And I kind of was happy to find out that this is actually celebrated by all sorts of people in India, not just people from one particular religion, but from several. Even though they have different reasons for celebrating it, still the traditions are very similar, and everybody has a good time during Diwali. It is the festival of lights. That sounds very bright to me.
Sounds fun. It's really pretty. If you look up on the internet, you can see some people who explain what this festival is. And it is a beautiful festival. I love Festival of Lights. That sounds great. It's one of India's biggest festivals. We're going to talk about what it means. And like Tom said, there are a lot of people who celebrate it. They may have different ways of celebrating it or different reasons to celebrate, but it's to welcome new beginnings for all of them. So why don't we go ahead and get started, and then we'll be back to talk about some of these terms.
The sun has set across India, but everything from the streets to the sky is glittering with light. Lamps glow in every window, and people of all ages have gathered outside to set off firecrackers. This is Diwali, one of India's biggest festivals. Also known as the Festival of Lights, this event symbolizes the triumph of good over evil. The joyous 5-day occasion is held in October or November during the Hindu New Year. Millions of Hindus, Sikhs, and Jains take part in the bright celebration as they welcome new beginnings. Diwali likely started as a harvest festival in ancient India. As it evolved, Diwali became associated with a number of legends. One of them is the tale in which Kali, the fierce goddess of strength, fought the demon Bakasura. Another story linked to the holiday details the marriage between Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, and Lord Vishnu, the god of protection. A third is that Lakshmi's birthday falls during the event. Regardless of the differing reasons for the festival, most of the traditions of Diwali across the country stay the same. Besides hanging lights and setting off firecrackers, a significant tradition is cleaning and repairing the home. This prepares the house for Lakshmi, who graces each residence with her blessing. Many Hindus, Sikhs, and Jains also decorate their doorsteps with elaborate rangoli. This is a type of artwork in which brightly colored rice, sand, or flower petals are used to make beautiful designs. Giving gifts, particularly candies or dried fruit, is another tradition. People are in such high spirits during Diwali that naturally there are many parties as well. With such brilliant tales and celebrations, it's no wonder Diwali has remained such an awe-inspiring part of India's culture. Okay, everybody, it's time for us to explain the contents of today's lesson. Again, it's our festival unit. We're talking about different festivals around the world. So we are now turning our attention to the Indian subcontinent, South Asia there, and we're talking about Dazzling Diwali, India's Festival of Lights. I've heard of different festivals of lights in different cultures, but this is one that comes from India. It should be a big occasion because India, of course, is a huge country with lots of people. So if you're there at this time, you're surely going to have a good time when you're there. Now, let's talk about what could happen. The sun has set across India, but everything from the streets to the sky is glittering with light. So this is what is happening in India. It's nighttime now. The sun has set. And everything in the streets and the sky, however, is all lit up. Everything is glittering with light. So here we've got the word glitter. It could be a verb. It could be a noun. It could even be an adjective. But here we're using it as a verb. That just means it kind of gives off light that is sort of sparkling.
So glitter, to glitter is a verb. And if it's glittering with light, we've just turned it into a gerund. It's glittering with light. I wanted to mention the title has a similar word, dazzling. If something's dazzling, it's really bright. Sometimes it can even blind your eyes temporarily. His smile is dazzling. Wow, white teeth. But
not me.
So this is pretty glittering. It's glittering with light. It sounds like a beautiful festival. Now, lamps glow in every window, and people of all ages have gathered outside to set off firecrackers. In some ways, this particular festival reminds me of Chinese New Year. We don't focus so much on the light, especially, although we have lanterns. They do have light everywhere. Now, if the lamps are glowing, that's not a light that's dazzling or glittering. Glittering is almost like sparkling. But if it's just glowing, it's a soft, warm light that you'll see in the lamps. And people of all ages, young and old, they gather outside and they set off firecrackers. Not fireworks. Firecrackers are the one that just make the big noise, pop, 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 that we have when we open a new store, for example.
Right. Or, when you're opening a new store or opening your business after Chinese New Year, you'll probably set off a roll of firecrackers, not fireworks, as you said. Those are the things that kind of explode in the sky and look like flowers and stuff like that. Firecrackers just make a lot of noise. Now, what is this festival? Well, this is Diwali, one of India's biggest festivals. India, you might expect, is a big country with lots of cultures, so they probably have all sorts of festivals there, but this is one of the biggest ones in India, also known as the Festival of Lights. This event symbolizes the triumph of good over evil. So here you've got the word triumph, which basically means a victory, some form of great achievement. Okay, so a military ruler could have great triumphs when he's fighting battles against the enemy, or you could have a personal triumph, for example, if you overcome some obstacles. Maybe you had a traffic accident and you broke a leg or something and you couldn't walk, but you were able to heal and walk again. That could be a great personal triumph.
Yeah. So it's a triumph of good over evil. The good is beating the evil. So the joyous 5-day occasion is held either in October or November, sometime during this time period. And this happens during the Hindu New Year. Hinduism is a religion, so this is when they hold it. You notice it's November 19th, so I think we've passed it, but we're talking about festival that's usually, I would say, sometime in the fall or late fall. New Year. So millions of Hindus, Sikhs, another religious group, and Jains, another religious group, they all take part in the bright celebration as they welcome new beginnings. If you take part in something, it just means you're participating. Oh, are you going to take part in the party I'm having this Friday? Or do you want to take part in the planning of the meeting for next year's, Weya? So if you take part in, again, it's just another way to say you're participating in something, you're getting involved, you're doing something. You're not just a spectator or someone who's looking on. You're actually getting in there and participating.
Right, so these different religions all participate in this particular festival. And I guess it's a great time to be in India. Now, Diwali likely started as a harvest festival in ancient India. So, of course, in cultures all over the world, you have harvests mostly in the fall, if you're in the northern hemisphere, which most countries are. So, yes, you go out in the field, you take in the corn, you take in the beans or whatever, and that's your harvest. And that, of course, is a time to celebrate. I think Zhongqiujie here in Taiwan is some kind of harvest festival. Maybe Thanksgiving to me seems like a harvest festival as well.
Yeah.
So here, this is kind of a harvest festival. At least it was in ancient India. And, of course, India is an ancient country just like China, so things changed over the centuries. And as it evolved, or as it changed slowly over time, Diwali became associated with a number of legends. So here, to associate something with something else means that it has something to do with that, or when you think of the one thing, you think of another thing. And they have all sorts of stories connected to Diwali, a lot of legends. A legend, of course, is kind of an old story. It's probably not true, but it could be true. Nobody really knows because it happened a really long time ago. It's kind of historical, and everybody knows the story, and everybody probably tells the story every year at this time.
Yeah, a lot of legends are just passed down through word of mouth over time. Some of these legends are so old that they weren't ever actually written down anywhere. They're just told from family to family. So there are a lot of legends that are associated with Diwali. One of these stories or traditional tales, is a tale in which Kali, the fierce goddess of strength, fought the demon Bakasura. Ooh, cool. So if you're a goddess, you're female. If you're a god or a demon, you would be male. And if you're described as being fierce, you're tough. And you're pretty, I would say, aggressive. So usually we describe animals like tigers and lions as being fierce. When they attack, they're going to kill you. They're not playing around. They're very, very ferocious. They're violent. All of these words describe this word fierce. So she was fierce and she had a lot of strength. And she fought, fought is the past tense of the verb fight. So she fought the demon Bakasura. If you see this word demon, it's another word for devil. So it sounds like the good goddess won, right? She beat the demon or the devil. What's another story linked to the holiday?
Well, there are a couple more we're going to mention here, but we'll just leave it at that for now. We're going to take a little bit of a break, but please stay tuned, and we'll talk about some more legends associated with Diwali. Please stay tuned.
Hello everyone, my name is Tina. 我们今天要介绍的是印度的排灯节。首先来看到第一段中间的句子提到 This is Diwali, one of India's biggest festivals. 前面叙述的呢，就是在讲到印度最大的节日之一排灯节的这样子的场景。有了这样子的文意呢，第一题我们可以选择 D 选项。因为提到 festival， 所以 sentence D 则是提到 also known as the Festival of Lights. This event symbolizes the triumph of good over evil. 在这里呢，都是提到 festival 节庆，这样子的盛事又被称之为光明的庆典，而它 symbolizes 象征的呢，就是善良可以战胜邪恶。所以根据文意的顺畅度，第一题的标准答案就选择 D 选项。第二段一刚开始就是一个空格，我们来看一下后面的句子。他说 As it evolved, Diwali became associated with a number of legends. 这一段的重点在于介绍 Diwali 它的由来，所以先说了什么才会说 as it evolved. Evolved 也就是演变的意思。随着排灯节逐步的演变呢，它开始跟若干的传说有所关联。一定要先有才会演变，所以第二题可以选择 A 选项。Sentence A 提到 Diwali likely started as a harvest festival in ancient India. 其实 Diwali 呢，很可能一刚开始在古印度呢是一个丰收节，所以这样子就可以搭配文意，先讲开始的状况，再谈到后面句子里面的演变 evolved。所以第二题的标准答案就选择 A 选项。
We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hey, what do you say we continue with today's lesson? Okay, now, again, we're talking about Diwali. And, of course, it's been around for thousands of years. And it's not surprising that as it evolved, lots of legends kind of popped up that are associated with Diwali. One of them, of course, is the tale of Kali and Baksura, kind of a fight between good and evil. Kali is the goddess of strength, and she fought the demon Baksura. Now, another story linked to the holiday or associated with the holiday details the marriage between Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, and Lord Vishnu, the god of protection. Okay, so it's a story about their marriage, which could include the wedding ceremony, but also it could deal with the period of time that they were married. So that's the legend here between Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, which would, I guess, kind of be a female version of the Taishan in Chinese culture. It's Lakshmi in India there. And we've also got Lord Vishnu, the god of protection. Vishnu, I think that's one of the three main gods in Hinduism. I can't recall what the other two are right now. One is Shiva, and the other one, Brahman or something. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, Brahman sounds familiar.
Okay, that sounds right. So, Lord Vishnu had a marriage with Lakshmi. And a third legend associated with Diwali is that Lakshmi's birthday falls during the event. Hey, what a great way to celebrate. Lakshmi's birthday actually happens during Diwali, so that means you can double celebrate.
Now, a third is that this birthday falls during the event, like Tom said. It's a great celebration. So this is another reason why this particular Festival of Lights is celebrated. So regardless of the differing reasons for the festival, most of the traditions of Diwali across the country stay the same. So the traditions are pretty much the same, although sometimes the reasons or the stories behind those traditions are a little different. Regardless of is a phrase we use when we want to say, no matter what we've said before, the following is still true, right? So regardless of, or although there are differing reasons for the festival, most of the traditions of Diwali across the country stay the same. So even though the reasons are differing is another word for different, you can see the same kind of traditions, which kind of unites the whole country. Because India, like Tom said, is very large with lots of people. So what do we've got here? We've got hanging lights. We've got firecrackers that are set off. When you light firecrackers, that's a verb phrase we use. You want to set off firecrackers or light firecrackers. All of these are significant traditions. Some of the things they do that are very similar to Chinese New Year is they clean their homes, preparing for that holiday. They repair anything that's broken at that time. These are things you see around Taiwan during Chinese New Year.
Yes, cleaning up your house, wearing new clothes, etc. So these are kind of similar here, but in this particular case, it happens during Diwali. And yes, they clean up the house and they fix things, they repair things. Maybe the drain is broken or something needs to be cleaned out. The toilet hasn't been working well. We better fix that. And this prepares the house for Lakshmi, who graces each residence with her blessing. Remember, Lakshmi is the goddess of wealth. So again, that's kind of the Indian version of the Taishan. And yes, they're getting the house ready for her to come on over. And she graces each home, each residence with her blessing. So yes, indeed, she wants to see the house nice and tidy and clean. Then she will offer her blessing. Your residence, of course, is where you live. That's more of the formal term. Where is your residence? Well, I live in Muja, for example. That's where my residence is. And she gives each home its blessing. So you better make that house spick and span, spotlessly clean.
Now, many of the Hindus, Sikhs, and Jains, remember those are all different religions, they also decorate their doorsteps with elaborate rangoli. I was just looking up what they look like on the internet. They're very colorful. Oh, my goodness. Very, very bright colors that are in the shape of flowers or circles. I even see one in the shape of a bird. This is a type of artwork, our article says, in which brightly colored rice, when we talk about bright colors, we're talking about really bright red and pink and green, not colors like brown and dark orange and dark green. These are really bright, vivid colors, you could say. They use rice, sand, or flower petals to make these beautiful designs. They're really lovely. They're also very dazzling, you could say, and they glitter. Some of them sparkle. Now, if you're talking about a flower's petals, you're talking about the pretty part of the flower, not the leaves and not the stem, which is the part that kind of looks like a stick, but it's real. The petals are the pretty colors that come out from the center of the flower. So they actually use petals sometimes to make beautiful designs. Now, your doorstep, think of your door that goes into your house. The doorstep is the part right before someone steps into your house. That's the doorstep.
Okay, so you'll see those in India in front of people's residences at their doorstep. You might see these rangoli. Yes, they're very colorful designs.
Pretty.
They kind of look like those mandalas that the Buddhist monks do, those sand paintings or whatever. Very, very similar, but I think these are far more bright and colorful. And again, they're made with these various ingredients. And giving gifts, particularly candies or dried fruit, is another tradition. So yes, you can make those rangoli, but you can also give people gifts. And those gifts could be candies, different kinds of candy, or some kinds of dried fruit. That, again, is another tradition of Diwali. Okay, so moving on now, here it says, people are in such high spirits during Diwali that naturally there are many parties as well. It does sound like a wonderful time to be there with lots of lights, firecrackers, probably some great food, gifts going around, rangoli everywhere. So that, of course, would make people in high spirits. That means they're feeling really good and they're full of energy and they want to have fun. So naturally, they throw a lot of parties as well. And if you've ever seen a movie from Bollywood, you know those people in India know how to dance with those elaborate dance routines in those movies.
Those are fun.
I can just imagine people having the time of their lives at these parties during Diwali.
You're ever described as being in high spirits or somebody else is described as being in high spirits, it means they're really happy. Usually they're joyful for a reason. Of course, during the holidays, we're all happy because we don't have to work as much. And usually you're with your friends and family or at some sort of party. It says here, with such brilliant tales, those are the stories, the traditional legends we talked about, and celebrations, whatever kind of party they're having. That's a celebration. It's no wonder, we're not surprised, that Diwali has remained such an awe-inspiring part of India's culture. It's probably their biggest festival of the year, I would guess.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, if something's awe-inspiring, it makes you stand back and go, wow. So if you're filled with awe, you're just kind of blown away by what you're seeing, what you're experiencing. It's something's really impressive. And that's what you're probably going to experience if you happen to be in India during this Diwali time or Festival of Lights.
And we did touch on the candies and dried fruit given as gifts, but what this article probably isn't mentioning is all the great food that would be available during this festival. I love Indian food.
Me too.
It is so tasty. It is so full of life.
It's yummy.
Boy, there's got to be all sorts of things to try during this time in India. Gee, too bad I don't have time to go check it out this year. Maybe next year. Let's start saving our pennies. But in any case, that brings us to the end of our lesson for today. But first, we need to hear once again from our Chinese teacher.
接着第三个空格前面的句子谈到 One of them is the tale in which Kali, the fierce goddess of strength, fought the demon Bakasura. 在这里前面提到呢，有很多的这些传说有关 One of them， 其中一个就是提到这个凶猛的力量女神呢 Kali， 她跟魔鬼 Bakasura 之间的战斗的故事。有了这样子的前提，第三题我们可以选择一选项。很多的传说，所以一个故事是 one of them， 另外的故事你就可以说 another。所以 sentence E 就提到 Another story linked to the holiday details, the marriage between Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, and Lord Vishnu, the god of protection. 另外一个故事呢，它则叙述讲到财富女神跟保护之神两者之间的婚姻。从前面的文意来看，许多的故事，第一个提到的用 one， 另外一个则用 another， 所以搭配文意跟文法的脉络，第三题的标准答案就选择一选项。第四个空格这一段讲到节日形成的原因可能千百种，不过呢，他们的传统呢依旧是相当的相同。第四题要选出正确的选项，要看后面的句子。后面的句子提到 This prepares the house for Lakshmi, who graces each residence with her blessing。这里的 this 指的是什么呢？他说你做了这件事情，就可以为 Lakshmi 呢预备好房子，然后他就会用他的祝福来为每个住宅添加光辉跟一些祝福。我们来看一下这一题，我们可以选择 C 选项。Sentence C 提到 Besides hanging lights and setting off firecrackers, a significant tradition is cleaning and repairing the home. 除了要挂一些灯泡，还有呢要放鞭炮之外，一个很重要的 tradition 传统呢，就是要打扫，并且呢要修补一下房屋。在这里你打扫跟修补房屋的目的就是要 prepares the house， 就是要为这个女神来准备好房子，所以搭配后面的句子，第四题的标准答案我们要选择 C 选项。接着第五个空格前面的句子提到 Many Hindus, Sikhs, and Jains also decorate their doorsteps with elaborate rangoli. 除此之外呢，很多的印度教徒、锡克教徒还有耆那教徒呢，他们也用心的制作这个蓝果粒来装饰他们门前的台阶。什么是蓝果粒呢？后面当然要说明一下，我们可以选择 F 选项。Sentence F 提到 This is a type of artwork in which brightly colored rice, sand, or flower petals are used to make beautiful designs. 在这里就是用来说明前面的 rangoli， 它就是一种呢艺术品。它会用鲜艳颜色的米、沙子或者是花瓣来制造出美丽的图案，所以第五题搭配文意标准答案我们就选择 F 选项。OK， 以上就是今天的课文讲解，谢谢收听。
Well, that's it, guys. That's our festival unit, which is always one of our fun units. I love festivals. If you get a chance, you need to take a quick trip to India while they're having their festival of lights. That's got to be the best time to go. For English Digest, I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Tom.
See you later.